Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the secrets hidden in plain sight within corporate filings. Today we're digging into InTest Corporation and a report that gives us a peek at how they're doing this past quarter. Let's see if they're acing it or if there are some red flags we need to watch out for. Before we dive in, if you are looking for straightforward insights from important company documents without the jargon, make sure you are subscribed. And hey, we've got a growing community over on Discord, so join us there. The link is in the description below. We're looking at a Form 8K filing from InTest Corporation. This is a report companies file when they have significant news to share that investors need to know about quickly, usually outside of their regular scheduled reports. Think of it as a special bulletin from the company. This particular one covers events that happened on the 5th of November 2025. The main point of this report is about InTest Corporation's financial results for the third quarter that ended on the 30th of September 2025. Companies are required to share these updates to keep the public informed about their performance. Essentially, they're telling us how much money they made and what their financial situation looks like for that period. This section really gets to the heart of the matter. It tells us that on the 5th of November, InTest Corporation released a press release about their financial results for the third quarter of 2025. This is crucial information for anyone invested in or thinking about investing in the company. It is their way of saying, here is how we've been performing financially. The filing also mentions that this information, while important, is furnished and not technically filed in a way that makes the company liable under a specific section of the Exchange Act. This is a common legal distinction in these types of filings. Now, the really juicy details about their actual financial performance are likely inside the press release they mentioned. While the 8K itself doesn't contain the full financial tables, it points us to Exhibit 99.1, which contains that press release. This is where we'd normally find the numbers that tell the story of their profitability, revenue, expenses, and any other key financial metrics. This is the meat and potatoes for investors. The filing also gives us a little background on the company itself. We see here that InTest Corporation's common stock is traded on the NYSE American exchange under the ticker symbol INT. This is important context because it tells us where you can find their stock and what kind of company they are in terms of public trading. Knowing the ticker symbol is key for any investor wanting to track their performance. The report mentions their incorporation in Delaware and provides details about their commission file number and IRS employer identification number. While these are vital for the SEC's record keeping, for US decoding the business itself, they are just administrative details. What we really want to understand is the story behind the numbers. We also notice that the company is classifying itself as not an emerging growth company. This means they are past the stage where they can take advantage of certain relaxed reporting rules for newer companies. This often indicates a more mature business with established operations. Now, let's talk about what typically matters most in these kinds of filings, the actual financial performance. While the 8K itself points to a separate press release for the detailed numbers, the presence of an Item 2.02, Results of Operations and Financial Condition, signals that this filing is primarily about those financial results. This is standard practice for companies to announce earnings or other major financial developments through a press release and then file it as an 8K. Without the full press release content directly in this document, we have to infer based on typical 8K filings accompanying earnings. Usually, these reports would highlight whether the company met, exceeded, or missed analyst expectations for revenue and earnings, per S-Hare. They would also likely discuss trends in their key business segments, sales growth or decline, and any factors influencing their profitability for InTest Corporation. Understanding their third quarter performance would involve looking for details on their sales figures compared to the previous quarter and the same quarter last year. Are sales going up, down, or staying flat? What's driving those changes? Are they selling more products, raising prices, or is it a mix of both? We'd also look at their profitability margins. Are they making more money on each sale, or are their costs increasing, eating into profits? Let's imagine what those numbers in the press release might look like. If, for instance, the report indicated a 10% year-over-year increase in revenue, that is a positive sign, suggesting their products or services are in demand. However, if their net income decreased by 5% over the same period, that would raise a question: why are profits shrinking even as sales grow? Possible reasons could be rising material costs, increased labor expenses, or maybe they ramped up spending on marketing or research and development to fuel future growth. A 20% drop in a key product line sales, for example, would mean they're losing 1 in 5 customers or sales volume for that specific offering. This would be a significant signal that something is fundamentally wrong with that product or their strategy for it. If they announced a substantial increase in their backlog of orders, that's a strong indicator of future revenue and business health. We also have to consider the bigger picture. What is InTest Corporation's business? They are involved in testing, evaluation, inspection, and certification services. This is a business that can be sensitive to economic cycles. When businesses are expanding, they often increase investments in new products and facilities, which drives demand for testing and certification. When the economy is slowing, companies tend to cut back on these investments, impacting companies like InTest. So, their third quarter results would need to be viewed against the backdrop of the current economic climate for their industry. Ultimately, what we want to see is a consistent story. Does the company's performance align with its stated strategy? Are they investing in areas that will lead to long-term growth? Or are they just managing day-to-day operations? The financial numbers, when understood in context, reveal a lot about the company's direction and viability. Now, looking at these results more broadly, InTest appears to be navigating the current economic landscape. The fact that they are reporting their results implies that operations are ongoing. However, without seeing the specific figures from the press release, it is hard to make a definitive judgment. If the numbers show strong revenue growth accompanied by healthy profit margins and a positive outlook, it suggests the company is well positioned. However, if revenues are stagnant or declining, or if profits are being squeezed, it could indicate challenges in their market or internal operational issues. From a Warren Buffett style perspective, we'd want to see a company with a durable competitive advantage, a competent management team, and a clear understanding of its intrinsic value. The financial reports are a key tool in assessing these elements. For InTest, are they demonstrating consistent profitability, manageable debt, and a growing market share? These are the kinds of questions a sharp investor would ask after reviewing their quarterly earnings. A notable risk for a company like InTest could be intense competition within the testing and certification industry, or potential regulatory changes that could impact their services. On the other hand, an opportunity might lie in expanding into new geographic markets or offering new specialized testing services that cater to emerging industries like renewable energy or advanced materials. To wrap it up, this Form 8K is essentially a notification that InTest Corporation has released its third quarter financial results. To get the full picture, you'd need to access that accompanying press release. The filing itself provides the basic framework, a company reporting its financial scorecard for a significant period. It's a critical step for transparency and investor relations, allowing stakeholders to assess the company's health and make informed decisions. What is your take on InTest Corporation based on what we've discussed about this type of filing? Do you think they are heading in the right direction? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown useful, please hit that like button. It really helps us get these insights to more people. And of course, subscribe for more deep dives into corporate financials. Don't forget to join our Discord community. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next Decode.